There was a major milestone celebrated at Grace Community Church this Sunday, February 9th, 2025. Also, I'll be giving you an accurate update as to what we know regarding John MacArthur and his health these days. Pay no attention to false reports and lots of stuff that's out there. Also, you want to make sure you watch to the end where I've got a fun little clip where MacArthur and Phil Johnson are talking about a photo that was picked out, and you might just be surprised, and I think you'll enjoy. Welcome to Truth Transforms. My name's Adam Markley. We're going to go ahead and dive into everything right now, but just to let you know, if you're just stopping by, I've got a free resource for you if you're interested in biblical teaching and preaching, and that is a free ebook in the book of Philippians entitled Lessons in Philippians, something that I hope is an encouragement to you during the chaotic times that we're living in, and you can pick that up at preachingforgodsglory.org/gift. That's preachingforgodsglory.org/gift. So let's talk about John MacArthur and the fact that he has been basically the last time since he's been back in the pulpit preaching is over a year ago now. He has made some appearances. He has made appearances at Q&As. He has made appearances in the pulpit on Sunday night. I don't know if he had made it there Sunday morning or not, but basically the last time that he was preaching regularly was in January 2024. And there have been a lot of health dates that have been given. There are a lot of health dates that have gone out. Here we had one just earlier January that the Christian Post put out, the fact that he was hospitalized, facing slower than expected recovery. Sometimes there are too many updates. People want lots and lots of updates, but there have been a lot of updates. And here, January 27th, that he's undergoing physical therapy after being bedridden in the hospital. And so I've tried to pay attention to what Phil Johnson has been saying. He was asked something in January 30th. He said, someone asked for an update on John MacArthur's status. Here was my reply. So he put down here, no significant change. This is January 30th. Nevertheless, he seems super optimistic, which is remarkable because this is his 6th week in the hospital. I've been hospitalized 4 days with 10 more ahead of me. And to be candid, my personal sense of sunniness is somewhat befogged. So we want to continue praying for him. That's where things were at on January 30th. We move on. He talks about his favorite hymn, which is excellent. His favorite hymn being what God ordains is always good. A focus on God's sovereignty at all times, that we need to be trusting in God and his sovereignty, and he always knows best. Well, let's get up to speed. Oh, this is Phil Johnson sharing about his status and sharing his bald head and everything with everything that he's dealing with. I forget what specifically the condition is, but we need to be praying for him as well. He says, day 7 of the transplant process, and I feel better than I expected to feel at this point. So that is good news regarding Phil Johnson. Be keeping him in prayers as well. Well, we'll move on, and this is February 7th, just this last week, and we find out that John MacArthur is recovering at home now. Keep him in your prayers. So that is excellent news that John MacArthur is at home. There's more that he'll say here, but John MacArthur is at home, and he is recovering now, so we can be praying. That is a big deal. There were people that were saying that he was in palliative care and all kinds of things that were not true. Phil Johnson made it clear these things were not true. However, he has been in the hospital for a long time. We're talking about maybe about like 7 weeks or so, and that is concerning, and we certainly need to be praying, and we certainly need to be ready for what is to come. Well, Phil Johnson, by the way, go ahead and hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. That helps us hit out and reach more people. That definitely helps with the algorithm. I want people to see the true and accurate updates, because YouTube, when it comes to health updates for John MacArthur, because there have been so many false reports, I believe that the algorithm has been suppressing many videos. I've seen other people do health updates that are accurate updates, and they've been suppressed. And I think that's because of all the false reports that have gone out. So if you don't mind, just giving that video a quick like. That should help things. And then just keep watching. Phil Johnson says, I'll be in the hospital. This is also February 7th. I'll be in the hospital at least until Monday. My white cells and platelets are still very low. Bone marrow hasn't rebounded yet. I'm getting another transfusion today, but I feel better than I would expect to. Given all they've done to me, thanks for your prayers. So that's the update regarding where Phil Johnson is at, and we will move on. The Christian Post reported on the most recent as well, that he is released from the hospital. So very good news, very good news. And then we're going to get to what I promised here. Tom Patton had something to say about it today. And this is what he said regarding a milestone that was celebrated, a couple of milestones that he celebrated. Here it is.
We're celebrating two very important events today. First off, happy birthday to Burton Michelson, one of Grace Church's founding members, who basically was the architect for our entire campus here at Grace Church. He is celebrating his 95th birthday. We are so thankful for Bert and his dear wife Dolores, as they have served here for decade after decade. And we also want to note that our pastor, John MacArthur, has been with us as of today, February 9th, 1969. He's been with us today for 56 years as our faithful pastor. We also want to thank his dear bride, Patricia, for holding his hand and supporting his ministry to us throughout all these years.
Amen and amen. Two excellent milestones to be celebrating. That's 56 years for John MacArthur. In fact, I did a video on the big celebration they had for the 55th year of pastoral ministry at Grace Community Church, and I will link to that at the end. But that is an excellent celebration, an excellent milestone to celebrate, and it's good to know that he's at home resting now. So I want to continue to pray for him. Well, last but certainly not least is a fun little clip that I came across that I think you'll enjoy.
When I read it, I didn't have any input in it, and I just thought there are some things that are funny. Like he picks pictures of me that are just you'd think he'd pick some kind of preaching pose, and he's got me
in a wetsuit.
He's got me in a wetsuit coming out of the surf.
Yeah, with
a mask on. I look like James Bond arriving,
Yeah, I think he actually toyed with the idea of making that the back cover shot.
You're kidding.
Yeah, we talked him out of that, but I said,
the two of you together could really be dangerous.
I don't know where he found that picture, but I said, that's a brilliant find. You've got to.
Yeah, and he was so insistent. He didn't care which picture of me in a suit or which picture of my family, but that picture of me in a wetsuit with a mask on coming out of the water, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's a metaphor on immersion.
I love Phil Johnson. You got to use that one. He's talking about his biography, which I did not know that there was a biography of him. But looked it up. Apparently it came out in 2011. Let me know if you read that, but very, very interesting. Well, that's what I've got for you here today. I appreciate you joining me for the episode. And if you want to see that other video, I've got it linked right there. Go ahead and click on it there, and that'll take you to last year's celebration that was given. And I don't remember much of what's in that video now. It's a year later, but go ahead and watch that. I think you'll enjoy. God bless you. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.